Everyone in the courtroom thought this was a normal divorce case, a quiet woman, a confident husband, but no one knew the truth. No one knew the husband had a dark plan. I was 62 years old when I sat on that wooden bench. My hands were shaking, not because I was weak, but because I was tired. Tired of being silent, tired of being controlled, tired of being told who I was. Across the room, my husband sat straight and calm. He wore a clean suit. He looked sure of himself, like a man who already knew he would win. For 40 years I had been his wife, 40 years of cooking, cleaning, smiling when I wanted to cry. Every morning was the same. Wake up early, make breakfast exactly how he liked it, eggs not too dry, coffee not too hot. If anything was wrong, he blamed me. If something was right, he took the credit. I gave up my nursing job when we married. He said one career was enough. His career. I believed him. Years passed, then decades. Slowly, I forgot who I was. After he retired, things got worse. He stayed home all day, watching me, correcting me. If I sat down, he asked why. If I spoke, he said I was talking too much. If I disagreed, he said I was confused. One morning, he told me not to meet my sister. He said she was filling my head with bad ideas. I felt something break inside me. For the first time in my life, I said no. The house went quiet. His face changed. Not angry, cold. That was the moment he decided to destroy me. I didn't know it yet, but he had already started planning. I moved out 2 days later. I took only my clothes. Nothing else belonged to me. Not the house, not the money, not even my name, it felt like. I stayed with my daughter and my granddaughter. They welcomed me with open arms. For the first time in years, I felt safe. But my husband did not let go. He called late at night. He sent long messages. He said I was ungrateful. He said I was sick. Soon the divorce papers came, and with them, fear. My lawyer warned me. She said powerful men do dangerous things when they lose control. She told me to save everything. I did. Every message, every call. Still, I was not ready for what he planned next. At the first court hearing, his lawyer stood up. He spoke slowly, carefully. He said my behavior had changed. He said I was forgetful. He said neighbors were worried. Then he said the word that made my blood turn cold: mentally unstable. He suggested I had early dementia, that I could not make smart choices, that I needed someone to manage my life. That someone was my husband. I wanted to scream, but my voice felt trapped in my chest. The judge looked at me with concern. She asked if I had memory problems. I said no. Still, doubt filled the room. That was when my granddaughter stood up. She was small. Her hands were shaking, but her voice was clear. She said she had something to show the court. No one expected what came next. The judge looked at the child and nodded. She allowed her to come forward. My granddaughter held a small tablet in her hands. She said she was scared for me. She said she heard her grandfather talking about me. She pressed play. The room went silent. My husband's voice filled the courtroom. Cold, sharp, not loving at all. He was speaking to my daughter. He said I would not get any money, not a single dollar. He said he had already spoken to a doctor willing to say I was sick, that I was losing my mind. He said once the court believed that lie, he would control everything: my money, my life, my future. My heart dropped. I looked at my husband. His face had lost all color. The confident smile was gone. The recording kept playing. He said I embarrassed him. He said I deserved punishment. He said he would send me back where I belonged. The judge stood up. Her voice was loud and firm. She asked him if he understood what he had just admitted. Fraud, lies, elder abuse. My husband tried to speak, but no words came out. The judge stopped the hearing. She denied his request completely. She ordered him to stay away from me and my family. She said this case would be sent for criminal review. I felt weak, but for the first time it was not fear. It was relief. I held my granddaughter close. She cried, I cried. 2 weeks later, the divorce was finalized. I received half of everything: the house, the savings, the retirement money. After 40 years of having nothing, I finally owned my life. Today, I live alone in peace. I paint, I drink coffee slowly. I choose who I meet. I am not crazy. I was never weak. I was controlled. And when he tried to trap me, he trapped himself instead. At 63 years old, I am free, and this is just the beginning. Life after the divorce felt strange at first. Too quiet. No orders. No angry voice calling my name. I woke up one morning and realized something. I could choose what to eat. I could choose when to sleep. No one was watching me. I moved into a small apartment. Nothing fancy, but it was mine. I bought a small table, a chair near the window. That window became my favorite place. Every morning I made coffee the way I liked it. No fear if it was too hot or too cold, just peace. My daughter visited often. She told me she had been worried about me for years. She said she was proud of me. My granddaughter stayed with me on weekends. She helped me paint. She laughed when I made mistakes. I joined a small art class at the community center. At first, my hands shook. Then they became steady. I painted trees, flowers, open skies. One day, someone bought one of my paintings. It wasn't about the money, it was proof. Proof that I still mattered. People asked if I felt sad about losing 40 years. Sometimes I did, but then I remembered something important. I didn't lose 40 years, I gained the rest of my life. As for my ex-husband, he told people I stole his money. Some believed him. I didn't argue. I didn't explain. The truth had already spoken. Now, when I look in the mirror, I see a woman who survived. Not broken, not crazy, strong. I am 63 years old. I am divorced. I am an artist. And for the first time in my life, I am free. Months passed after the divorce. I thought the pain was over. I was wrong. One afternoon, my lawyer called me. Her voice was calm but serious. She told me the court had opened a new case, not about divorce, about lies. My ex-husband had gone too far. The recordings changed everything. The doctor he mentioned was questioned. He denied agreeing to lie. The truth came out. My ex-husband had tried to pressure him, tried to scare him, tried to buy his silence. That was enough. The court said his actions were not just cruel, they were criminal. He was accused of fraud, false statements, and emotional abuse. The man who once controlled everything now sat alone in court. No smile, no power. When the judge spoke, the room felt heavy. She said the law exists to protect people like me, not people like him. She said age does not mean weakness, and marriage does not mean ownership. He was fined heavily and warned that any future contact would lead to jail. I did not feel joy watching him fall. I felt peace. Justice did not scream. It stood quiet and firm. That day, I walked out of the courtroom slowly, not shaking, not afraid. I held my granddaughter's hand. She looked up at me and smiled. She said she wanted to help people one day, like lawyers do, like judges do. I told her she already had. Some stories end with revenge. Mine ended with freedom. He tried to call me crazy. He tried to erase me. Instead, he showed the world who he really was, and I finally showed the world who I really am. People often ask me one question: why did I stay so long? The answer is simple. I didn't know I was allowed to leave. For years, I believed love meant silence, that respect meant obedience, that marriage meant endurance. I was wrong. No one has the right to control your mind. No one owns your voice. Not a husband, not time, not fear. I learned that strength does not always shout. Sometimes it whispers, and sometimes it comes from a child. My granddaughter did not fight with anger. She fought with truth, and truth is stronger than power. If you are watching this and feel lost, if someone tells you that you are crazy, that you are nothing without them, listen carefully. That is not love. That is control. It is never too late to start again. Not at 20, not at 40, not even at 63. Today, I wake up without fear. I paint what I feel. I live how I choose. I am not broken. I am not ashamed. I survived. And if I can stand again after 40 years, so can you. This is not the end of my story. It is the beginning.